Get ready for the epic new HBO drama, Game of Phones.
Today we shall decide who will take the iron phone and with it gain control of this great nation.
Not so fast. The iron phone belongs to me. It's my birthright.
Shame. Shame.
Oh, stop tweeting, Martha. This is what Father would have wanted.
You know nothing, Ed Rogers.
Deceit, betrayal, roaming charges.
Our plan would have worked perfectly if you hadn't accidentally sent that butt raven.
A powerful family torn apart.
Tell Ed I want him to know it was me.
This fall on HBO, when you play the Game of Phones, you win or you dial.
All right.
Hey, Gavin.
Thank you for the assist, Jan. There is your fake trailer panel for The Point. What news story about a family drama was making headlines this week?
The new season of Succession is on. It's obviously.
It's very close to that. Tom?
We're talking about the family of Edward Rogers Jr., who is the son of Edward Rogers Sr. and the father of Edward Rogers III, who's the one who's in all the trouble, and who incidentally has a child named Edward Rogers. So it's clearly an imaginative line. He's got some managerial problems.
Yes, you were correct for The Point. The headline from the Toronto Sun is Rogers family feud better than any drama on TV. Ooh. The Rogers family owns a little telecommunications conglomerate you might have heard of, and their family feud is now extremely public. According to the Financial Post, ever since the death of Ted Rogers, the Rogers children, his widow, and company execs have been battling for power. For a point, which Rogers family member was recently booted as chairperson of the company?
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. It's so sad that he's been dragged into this, eh?
I know. He's such a
Never
nice
did a
man.
thing
Such
wrong
a
in
good
his life.
name until now.
There goes the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I'm going to need a first name.
Well, it's always going to be Edward.
Yes.
We're talking about Edward III, yes.
According to the Globe, Edward was voted out by family members and the board after it was revealed he was plotting to take control of the company. For a point, how was Ed's secret plan exposed?
His secret plan was offered in the basic cable bundle. That was his big error.
Do not go to Channel 36.
Yeah.
He took himself off the Rogers family cell phone plan?
Tom, I bet you know the real answer.
Well, I sort of do and I sort of don't because, okay, so everybody is very excited in the news saying that this plot was broken when one of the plotters, quote unquote, butt dialed the plot victim and included that person in the call where the plot was being explained. And for a communications company to have their plot foiled by someone failing to operate their phone or operating it a little too vigorously with the wrong part of their body, this is seen as funny.
Yes.
I like butt dialed in the literary sense of sort of, why, Roger, had you but dialed and explained, we could have sorted this out like gentlemen. But I also question whether it was actually a butt because I haven't read any evidence that a bum was involved. It might have just been a pocket. Or, as I learned, it can be the secretion of your sweat.
Happens
So
to me all the
you
time.
could have been a sweat dial. Is
It
what
could have
you're
been a
saying.
sweat dial. Exactly.
Well, they are actually changing it now in the media to pocket dial.
They're changing it in the
One
media?
must get their facts correct. But an actual Globe and Mail headline did read, Rogers CEO learned of Edward Rogers' plan to oust him through butt dial.
Yeah, butt dial. Actually, they're going to take that over soon, I think. Butt dial's been one of the real sort of introducing a bit of competition into the communications industry right now. But
Oh
it's
my
gonna go-
God. You know what? I can totally see Rogers now adding a charge for a butt dial.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're like, why is my cell phone bill suddenly $70 more?
Yeah, it's because you were butt roaming.
Yeah, butt roaming. Martha Rogers has been very public about her disdain for her brother's antics. She tweets about it constantly. What did she tweet she was willing to do to stop her brother Ed's plans?
Cancel her Rogers subscription.
Willing to give it up.
She said she would torch her life.
You are correct.
Torch her life.
She said, to be completely accurate, she said, quote, I will gladly blow up my life to stop this.
She's great, though. She says, and I don't know if you know this, but you probably do because you probably researched the stories you put on the program, so don't know why I even said that. Of course you know what I'm about to say.
I'd love to hear it anyways.
She said she wanted to be Arya Stark in this because everyone's trying not to say this is just like Succession because that's such a cold take. So then she said this is actually like Game of Thrones. And she said she would be Arya Stark. It made her very popular because everyone likes Arya Stark.
I love her tweets because they're all just slightly unhinged. Like, you have to read them a couple of times before they actually make sense.
I mean, everyone loves this story, right? No one wants them to make up. Everyone wants them to have it get worse and worse and worse.
Do you ever have similar battles with your siblings? Do you anticipate similar battles upon the inheritance?
No, because my mom made us go through her whole house and put our names on anything that we want to avoid conflict. The issue was nobody wants anything.
Nah.
That's a similar thing for us. It's like, who gets the debt would be.
Like, no, you can have it.
I don't.
After being ousted as chair, how did Edward retaliate against his rival family members?
He switched to Belle.
Good guess. No, Tom?
Dragons. So he fired them back. There's a thing ironically called the Rogers Trust, which is the one thing that's really lacking in the story. He went and he runs the Rogers Trust, and so he used that to fire all the people he didn't like from his board and put back all his friends, I guess.
You are correct for the point. He formed a new board of directors, which re-elected him as chair and said that they were the new real board.
I'm the real board now.
it's
This
us.
all took place in a treehouse, which is...
Yeah.
It's like he took his ball and went home.
Rogers Communications calls the new board invalid. So do the sisters and the mother. At the time of taping, Edward is asking BC's Supreme Court to legitimize his new board of directors.
Why does Rogers have so much money?
Well, let's get into that. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood is fairly large, Tom.
Yes.
Rogers owns a big chunk of the Raptors. They also own Fido. They also own, honestly, the list is very long. So let's just play a game called Does Rogers Own That?
Yeah.
I'll name something in Canada. You have to tell me, does Rogers own it? Craig, you're up first.
Okay.
Medicine Hat radio station, Jack 102.1.
They do own it.
You are correct. They
Yeah.
own 6 Jack stations.
Yeah.
Although there's a plot to rename them Ed.
There's one in Ottawa.
Jan, your
Yeah.
turn. The shopping channel. Do you think Rogers owns the shopping channel?
Yes, I do.
Yes, they do own the shopping channel. And if you call now, you'll get a free tweet from Martha. Tell me this, what about the Toronto Maple Leafs? Does Rogers own the Leafs?
I don't think they do because they own Rogers Centre where the Blue Jays play. I'm going to guess no.
They do, in fact, own 37% of the Leafs. This one is open to all of you. Does Rogers Communications own Toronto Mayor John Tory?
100%.
Just
No.
on Thursdays.
Yeah, technically, no, not really, but he is weirdly a key player in this saga. He's a paid advisor of the Rogers Family Trust, although he tried to minimize his involvement this week. How did he describe the time he has spent mediating this dispute?
He says that he's just doing it in his spare time.
I think people know that my work ethic is pretty well developed. In fact, my wife would say it's overdeveloped. And so what I do is in my spare time, really.
Sorry, what does his wife say is overdeveloped?
Sounds dirty.
I mean, it's a weird time to sort of admit,
sense
like,
of
my
self.
wife could use a little more action.
It does make you feel for her.
Yes, spare time.
Do you know what John Tory's dad is? The one who worked with Edward Rogers?
No.
John Tory. John Tory's dad, John Tory, worked with Edward Rogers, whose son, Edward Rogers, is a great friend of who? John Tory.
Man, are they vampires? Are they that thing? You know when they say like the global elite and they're all like this one family of vampire people that pretend to die, but then they come back and it's like, oh,
It's
they're
just the
vampires.
same person over and
Yeah.
over again.
Yeah,
Why do we never hear analysis like this on like the At Issue panel?
yeah, they totally should.
They never even consider whether or not the entire Rogers family is a vampire.
Yeah.